Taking No Shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Let's keep it going. In the mist. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast, episode 113. I'm your host, Jay Grizzy Green, a.k.a. Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone.
Not the devil.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. But every Friday around this time, you can catch the live stream at the following streaming channels.
Exactly.
That would be Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Taking No Shorts Pod. You see what we finna get into at the bottom of the Chiron. You'll get the ads and all that. But let me go ahead and introduce a regular here at Taking No Shorts Podcast. He is the founder of Legacy Internet Radio. He is also the host of the podcast show. You can see archives on the social media, internet, and all that of Ain't No Half Stepping. And he's my brother, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marcus J.
What up, Chris?
Bro,
How you doing, man?
Namaste.
Come on, bro. Glad to be back. Namaste.
Namaste, man. I'm peaceful. I'm coming into my peaceful stage. Before they put me in the ground and burn me up.
Feel good, don't it?
Yeah, it feels shit. I wish I'd have got that sooner.
You know, the key to it, though, man, you come to your understanding when you come to your understanding. You don't give yourself a hard time for not knowing what you didn't know until you knew it.
No, I don't. I'm just happy to be here. Yeah. I tell people, they ask me hey, Grizz, or hey, Jay, how you doing? I say, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just, because
we've had a hard time. There's been some stuff.
Yeah, we've been through it, man.
Yeah.
The way the production of episodes go on Taking No Shorts podcast is like this. About a week after I record, about the next day after I record, the juices pause. I can't even say pause, but the thoughts come in my head on what I want to do for the next episode, right? And you Mark know, because he been in this space for 14 years, and so have I. So we know how that go. And I had wrote down some notes, jotted down some notes on my iPhone. I think I recorded last Friday. I pre-recorded, I think, Thursday. Yeah. So that next morning, I had already had the next episode in my head. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was sports and the gambling thing in sports.
Yeah.
Because I had put down, I just took a bad beat or something. It wasn't a lot of bread, but it was just the fact that, what am I doing? Yeah. And that was a week, probably 10 days ago, right? Lo and behold, Mark hits me up and was like, yo, man, I'm free. The news is broke that the NBA gambling scandal has happened.
Yeah.
That nigga's tripping.
Yeah, they are.
It's just the synergy, the synchronicity of everything. And then who else better we started back on the Green Room back in 2011 as a sports talk show.
Yes, we did.
And we didn't talk about gambling like that.
No, we didn't.
No, we were just fans. We were still sipping the juice.
Yeah, every Tuesday night so that we can talk about Monday Night Football.
That's it, right? You see how simple life was 14 years ago?
That's why we did radio. That's why we started. So we can talk about Monday Night Football.
And here we are. The news breaks.
Yeah.
They put out all these big names. And I asked folks on the internet, get in the comments, or hit me up at jgrizzo at Taking No Shorts Pod. NBA gambling scandal, Mark.
All right. Well,
FBI.
All right. So I got some thoughts.
Yeah, come on, man.
I got a
What
few
is
thoughts.
going? What is this all
So
about?
a couple things, right? 30-something people were indicted and arrested. And they told you that Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier of the National Basketball Association were arrested. They told you that 4 mafia crime families were involved.
Like, I mean, they put specific words, buzzwords to me, because we're kind of like media guys now, because we've been doing this a while.
Let me say, because I'm going somewhere. We're the mafia. Who of them got arrested? Which of them? Have you seen any of them?
Oh shit! You right. Exactly.
But you seen Chauncey Billups
do a perp walk.
They perp walk Chauncey Billups. You saw Terry Rozier. They showing you clips of him doing stupid shit on the court. Pulling himself out of games and stupid shit.
Man.
They told you that Damon Jones had insider information about the injury report in a game with LeBron James not playing.
They sprinkle his name.
You should bet and stuff. LeBron James not implicated in anything. It just he's in the injury report.
Right.
And Damon Jones leaked the injury report to help the gamblers.
But
so 3 people have been publicly named while they're telling you the National Basketball Association and 4 crime families. But you ain't seen nobody but the 3 dudes.
And I mean, look, first of all, when the news broke, bro, I was the one day, it was a Wednesday, right? It broke Wednesday.
Broke yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. The one day I decided to go in the office, right, and kind of like tune out, because, you put your playlists on, you go about your day or whatever, and then you happen to stumble across, because the news is so big, that and I was just like, what am I reading? But I will never forget. And let me give a shout out to Wood. Exactly. Wood came through episode 6 or 7 of Taking No Shorts podcast, had a big turnover Miami U chain, because he's an Eagles fan. Eagles was going against the first time against Kansas City, right? And in that pod, he said, watch what happened. If anybody ever remember the first Kansas City Philly game, there was a controversial PI, pass interference call, on the goal line that gave Kansas City the opportunity, or the opportunity to win the game. And it was a questionable, very, very questionable call. And he said on the live pod, and I'm still sipping the juice, right? Sipping the Kool-Aid. He said, Jay, all of this stuff is rigged. All of it. And I said, come on, Wood. I've known Wood since high school. Stop it. Stop it. As a Knicks fan, stop it. You mean the Knicks in the lottery with Pat Ewing in 85? Stop it. Stop it, right?
Exactly.
A bullshit?
And lo and behold, he said, if, and you don't, I try not to do, because I'm not a conspiratorial kind of guy, but the facts are the facts after the fact. You know what I mean? Like, and lo and behold, what shows up? I said, if the Chiefs get the possession within 2 minutes, they're gonna win. So we got to be up, Philly, as a Philly fan, we got to be up at least 2 possessions or 2 scores to win this game. And I was like, fuck out of here. Or give it another perfect example. When you say, because when it did come down my news feed about the news breaking, the first thing, and you have to call, I mean, the credibility of the federal law enforcement agency, I mean, it's in question off the top just by who runs it, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but in my opinion, you have to question the credibility of these people. And the first thing he said a term I haven't heard since the 70s or the 80s. La Cosa Nostra.
No, you're listening to Wu-Tang. You heard that phrase.
Oh, wait, right. But we heard it. And
yeah, I'm clowning. But here's the thing with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, right? There's a second point I was going to make. I'm glad you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Kash Patel, the director, said this is a 2-year investigation that just culminated in these arrests. Let's look at that for a second. You got the director who was handpicked by the current president, and they basically said that everything that the past administration did was nothing and was awful, and they stripped down the FBI and rebuilt it up and all that kind of stuff, right? That's what they told you, right?
Yeah.
But you're supposed to believe that they've been investigating this for 2 years?
A bullshit?
2 years.
Oh,
2 years? Hey, look, 2 years, but you only seen the 3 black dudes from the NBA arrested, and they made sure that they did it the week that the NBA season starts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. You know what I'm saying? You got your analogy, I got mine.
Right. It's after a while. So I'm in the office.
Come on.
The news breaks. And we have like a community room, like every major corporation does. You go a break room or whatever. And on the screen, I see 3 or 4 younger brothers, right? Watching First Take. They watch a First Take, and that guy is out there talking. And we're going to talk about him in a little bit. Stephen A. Smith, by the way. Talking crazy, you know. And I couldn't, Mark knows me for about 20 years now. My visceral instinct was like, why? I said to the young guys, why is y'all watching this guy? Like, he has lost all credibility to me as well. We'll talk about that later. But the point was, you can't believe anything that you see on a major network. You know, everything is fugazi. Everything is fugazi to me. And it's not conspiratorial because I guess they call receipts. But to your point, Terry Rozier was already under investigation
and cleared by the NBA
and was playing in NBA games. So for the federal government, and this is why I say, what I cut off when I left the break room, I was getting coffee, left the break room, because I was like, I can't hear him pontificate about stuff that he is co-signing with. So I try to find alternative media, right? I went to Sirius NBA radio. They got a lot of Sirius XM NBA channel, right? Sam Mitchell was on there. Sam Mitchell, former NBA player, NBA coach, or whatever. And I forgot, it might have been Brian Scalabrine or whatever. And they was just talking because they was getting the news break just like I am. And so Sam Mitchell was saying, yo, before, I'm not going to sell out my homeboy because I'm friends with Chauncey Billups. I've coached him. I've been a mentor to him. I've been his, that's my guy, right? So I'm not going to do the initial thing just because the headlines say this. And so I'm listening and I'm like, okay, that's kind of big of you, as a media guy to kind of like stand beside somebody that's looking at Fed charges, this federal government charges, right? And then he said, think about it. Why would the FBI do all of this on Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier or just the brothers or Damon Jones, right? They was in the league. They've been in the league over this whole time. Like, why did this come down now?
I mean, there's always a reason that you'll never know as a civilian. We'll never know because there is a why now component here to this, in my opinion. I looked at the charges, and I see what is being said about each of the 3 that they are telling us have been indicted. Yeah, I want to know about the others. Like, who are the other people?
Who are the other 31?
We're talking about, the crime families and the mafia. But, I'm just curious to know why these are the only names that we know so far. Like, is there something going on?
So here's the rabbit hole.
Well, perhaps if we go down that rabbit hole.
We go to rabbit hole, because I come home after Thursday yesterday, and I didn't, other than the Knicks opener.
That was Wednesday.
That was Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday, I wasn't checking NBC or
NBA
TV or whatever. Like I don't even. I'm like, man, that's a whole nother
I was
story.
plugged in Tuesday. OKC played 2 back-to-back double OT games to open the season. Yeah, but then they're getting challenged.
Yeah,
They get like back-to-back double OT games to open the season.
The shit is rigged, y'all. I'm telling you. I swear to God.
I'll say something about that, right? I was having a conversation with somebody today. We were talking about wrestling. Everything comes back to wrestling when you're talking to somebody who loves wrestling like you do. And that's a very rare thing. It's a very rare thing to find yourself in a space where you're talking about things with someone that loves wrestling, because if you understand WWE and WCW, AEW, all of that, just the concept of it, you realize that there is an illusion in everything. Everything is a work. The phrase "the work" is a wrestling term. It basically means real shit's happening around you, but some of it's fake.
Fake, yeah.
And you may not know what part's real, what part's fake, but
so just enjoy it.
Just know some of it is fake, but some of it is real. And I think when you look at the sports world, I think the integrity of the sport, the history of the sport, whichever sport we're talking about, NBA, baseball, football, whichever one it is.
I'm going to baseball.
The biggest fan is going to want to believe that what they're seeing is 100% real. And when you find out that your heroes are not the big, strong hero that you thought they were, it's a very upsetting thing. So to think that there may not be realism in the NBA games, you mean to tell? That's why when you look at people that don't want to give props to LeBron and the Lakers, they talk about the bubble championship that they won in 2020. They played 50 games instead of 82, had a shortened playoff, and you got people that want to say that wasn't a real championship, when it obviously was, because everybody played under the same parameters. And it was the COVID year. And shit was fucking different that time.
As a Jazz fan that claims the championships from 32 to now. I see what you're arguing.
But
that's a legit argument.
Obviously, because the league was in existence. So all of a sudden, because you changed the name of the game, you got more teams, you don't want to count the teams that won before? That's a dumbass argument to me. It's always been one. I am not going to argue with folks who want to believe that that's wrong. Because the league will trace their stats all the way back to them days.
You should have been on the debate.
We can't trace the championship. We're going to trace the stats, but not the championship. We sit around, old folks tell you that Jim Brown was one of the greatest they ever seen in their life, and he never played in the Super Bowl because the first one came a decade after he retired. Like, come on.
I don't know if St. Anthony still has the records, but I know Thomas Jefferson has high school.
Well, St. Anthony's is now defunct.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But you should have been on the debate team, bro. Was you on the debate team?
I was not.
I was on the debate team.
I carried the clipboard for the girls basketball team.
Or I was on the debate team, and I'm telling you, as debate prep, you would have been hell. Because I'm trying to come up with the counter argument to
it's common sense stuff. Like, I think people make things more complicated than what they are. It's common sense stuff. You want to argue with me about stats. You want to tell me that this guy was great and this person is, we named trophies after him and all this kind of stuff, and he's the greatest of all time. But the championships he won don't count because they hadn't given it a fancy name yet.
Yeah, Jim Thorpe was a real football player. So I can't just take away from Jim Thorpe if he won the All-American Football Conference. He played the competition.
It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same.
He played this competition that it was. He can't help that the competition. All right, so I'll give that point. All right, so with the sports thing and this betting thing.
Because we'll go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I try not to, Mark say, grizzly squirrels. So I look, try not to do squirrels.
That one was my fault, though.
No. I mean, here's what I say with my squirrels, because everybody who's watched from episode 1 to episode 113, I will diverge off on something, especially if I've had too much cannabis or too much alcohol, and I have weaned myself off of all of those things. So we're gonna get back on topic. But no, the gambling thing, I just think too many buzzwords, too many coincidences. I mean, Michael Jordan showing up. This man has ruined he's ruined two franchises, the Wizards and the Bobcats, or now the Hornets.
How did he ruin the Wizards?
He didn't ruin them, but how did. All right.
First of all, please don't put me in a position where I have to defend Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I just did.
You kind of just did. And you know how upsetting this is going to be to me. So how did he ruin the Wizards?
Well, it was a pay. How did he even get in there? There is speculation that he got into ownership for some dough. There is speculation, allegedly, what Grizzy and Taking No Shorts is about to say is all alleged. But that whole 95, 94 Jordan going to play major league or minor league baseball was in actuality a suspension, a secret suspension, because he had alleged gambling debts that the league could not at that time afford to have exposed, because they were doing the NBA in the 90s with Jordan was doing this, right? And to have the face of the place be caught up in some type of gambling ring or gambling scandal would have, and this is, to me, this is the equivalent of that, because here he shows up on NBC, on the or Amazon or wherever the fuck NBA is now, showing his face. Does the day or the day after, I don't even know, but it's in simultaneously as all of this stuff going on in Gilbert Arenas is trolling. You see what Gil is doing? He's trolling everybody because he got pissed and they let him go. Yeah. So for me, Mark, and I'll wrap it up like this. For me, all the dots are connecting. As soon as they brought to surface gambling and pro sports, all bets are off. Excuse the pun or the saying, but all bets are off. Yeah. Now I don't even watch. I don't even that little $50 that I lost on my Steelers against Cincinnati or whoever the fuck. Joe fucking Flacco, you telling me? Joe Flacco, you telling me? I'm getting see the old Grizzly coming back.
I see him. I see him.
That was a sure bet.
But see, I've never been someone that would bet money, because I'm a little more conservative than that.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to blow money on bullshit.
Right.
And gambling and betting and chance and all of that is just not something that I'm interested in. So when I see y'all getting excited for fantasy and all that kind of stuff, what I always tell you,
I don't play that shit.
I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? You're going to put me in a position where I got to root for somebody for the motherfucking Cowboys,
right,
or the Eagles, or Washington. That be lost your mind. That is, if I had a fantasy team, be all Giants.
All Giants, right.
You know what I mean? So I just never was one. And fantasy is not gambling directly, obviously, but I recognize that it's kind of, spawn of it.
Yeah.
And it's just not my thing to take my money that I went to work for and bet it on a sporting event, even if I knew 100% it's fixed or not fixed.
Even if you knew Eli was fitting to beat the Patriots.
There's no way, because, all right, let me tell it to you this way.
Yeah.
I'm a New York sports fan.
Right.
Been through a lot of shit. And you can't tell me anything is a sure bet.
Right.
You can't tell me the 2004 Yankees that was up 3 games to nothing against Boston is a sure bet to go to the World Series. And you also can't tell me that this series was fixed so that the Red Sox would win. So...
But what if it came out? Pete Rose?
Yeah, but Pete Rose never bet against his team. He bet that his teams would win.
He bet, yeah. He bet on his teams to win.
So
Rest in peace, Pete Rose.
I always think, I'm not a cynic. I'm not somebody in that way.
Yeah, I think became.
I'm not a cynic in that way, and I'm not petty. I think that the sportsman, I think that the person who works hard, busts his ass or her ass to be at the best for themselves and for their team is going to always outlast the people that's trying to cheat. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be. Now, I recognize that's a euphoric way to look, and it's pie in the sky, but that's the way that I move.
That's the way you want to enjoy. That's the way you're enjoying your fandom or your sports.
I interpret my sports is that the unparalleled vast majority, meaning by far more than not.
I mean,
there is integrity in our games, and the chance that we take when we see the refs make or miss a call, you know, and the chance that we take on our emotion going with it is legitimate, as opposed to that being a work.
All right, so I take what you're saying. I respect what you're saying because you laid out your argument or your point being, hey, I don't lay money on games. I respect the fact that there are more athletes that's playing the game for the right reasons as opposed to the wrong. So from that point of view, you're right, honestly. But from that degenerate, that's laying points and putting his mortgage, or I mean, not that Grizzly would do that, but there are people out here, and the reason why this is a thing is because you got major companies making major casinos, major sports books. You can't cut on a television, a stream, or whatever without seeing one of these ads. FanDuel and DraftKings, and then you got all these prop bets where you betting on individual performance, not just.
Which is what Terry Rozier was, you know, accused of manipulating.
They wouldn't be advertising for your dollars, for your money, if this wasn't proliferating. And the leagues are in bed with these folks.
All right, but I'll say it to you like this then, right? You know, most of us aren't going out committing crimes.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And whether it be your moralistic feelings and spiritual guidance that keep you from doing that, or you like, fuck it, I ain't going to jail, but I would kill his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, the deterrent to keep you from doing this wrong shit, you got to figure it's going to be a few assholes that's going to bust that up. And that's why we got jails, right? So we have to fight against that. It's the same thing here.
So it's not going to ruin your ending opinion is this scandal is not going to ruin professional sports.
Of course it's going to put a black eye on it, but you know, I am one of those people, honestly. I've always been, but I'm more comfortable in it now, that asshole is taught behavior. You know what I'm saying? Most people are inherently good people and don't want to fuck with you, just want to do their own thing and want to be left alone to do their own thing. And they're going to work hard and they're going to, you know, perform on the athletic, arenas, you know, authentically and above board and on the square. Yeah. Just like in society, you're going to have some assholes. Assholes, you know, asshole is taught behavior, but unfortunately, some folks is inherent. But for the most part, people are good.
You just
just to finish the point. Yeah. I think that for the most part, the leagues aren't going to be infested with this thing. Something that they got to clean up, and I think they will.
They better.
Well, I mean,
they better, because
it ain't going nowhere. It's enough money there that even if it becomes a thing, what's going to happen? You really think, like, you find out tomorrow that everybody's cheating? Everybody. You find out tomorrow everybody's cheating. You gonna stop watching?
Yes.
Because you didn't stop watching wrestling.
No.
When you found out that this shit was a work.
No, but at least, all right, so what Vince did was he leaked it out. He didn't leak it. He pretty much said everything is a work. You know, or some.
That wasn't Vince. He didn't want to do it.
Who did it?
I mean, he changed the name.
He changed the name to entertainment. He changed.
This is an old schooler. I promise you, he ain't want to break kayfabe. The business shifted. He had no choice. I don't think.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
He
another time we'll debate that.
Yeah, no, we got time for wrestling here and taking those shorts.
Okay,
Vince McMahon saw with Terry Bollea that whatever they was doing down south, because down south, Florida, Texas, and Carolinas was making money. With Backlund and Bruno and Billy Graham, he was making money, but he was like,
we having different discussions. I can tell by where you're going and where you're starting.
Yeah.
That we having different discussions because we don't disagree on the origin of how WWF morphed into WWE with him taking Hogan and building around him and poaching off of the territories.
Right.
We're not debating that.
Okay.
That's not the debate.
What are we going?
The debate is how kayfabe got broken and how we got the third wall broken, and now we know that all of it is a work. You didn't know it was a work back then. You can say that you did, but you ain't know it was a work back then.
So Vince didn't want it.
You want to know when the work became open and kayfabe got broken? I know, because I was there.
Oh, this Madison Square Garden. Right.
That's when it happened. You think Vince wanted that? He didn't.
No,
you know what happened? Couldn't do nothing to Scott Hall. He was gone. Couldn't do nothing to Kevin Nash. He was gone.
I got to get those guys their flowers.
Shawn was your champion. Yeah. You couldn't do nothing to him. Yeah. But you know who got punished?
Triple H.
Triple H got punished. And you know who benefited?
Triple H.
No, because Triple H was supposed to win King of the Ring that year. Who won King of the Ring that year?
Stone Cold.
What happened next?
It
ended up working out. But you think Vince wanted to get to it that way?
I don't think he wanted to get to it that way. But
no, it organically happened. The business shifted, and you had to shift with it.
It went into a realistic thing. It went from the cartoon rock and wrestling to some realism stuff, which the business grew for that. So, man, you should have been on the debate team.
Exactly.
Sometimes when I try to find points to argue with Marcus J, he's just like, stop it.
I'm humble, man. I'm humble. I'm certainly not.
No, I'm giving you a prop.
I'm certainly not always right, but I think
I give you a props because I can't find, as much as I want to sit there and harp on like certain points that I want to hold true to my emotions, the facts are the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, even tonight, when talking about the gambling, like, I wanted to, like, when I was listening to Sam Mitchell on NBA radio on Sirius XM, I'm plugging them, so I hope y'all pick up Taking No Shorts on one of y'all fucking programs. But I was just like, man, it's big of you to take up for one of your colleagues, but those are fair charges. Like, that's some serious business. Like, you don't know what could happen. Your job might be on the line. And so what I'm gonna segue into this, with jobs being on the line and people, I think, choosing sides and people putting things into buckets and baskets. Like I said, I saw some young brothers at my place of business where I make some other money at, and they was watching First Take, the show on ESPN hosted by Stephen A. Smith. And he used the line, he said, I saw a clip, because I don't watch that show anymore. There's a lot of stuff in his, it's I can't even say it's personal because I don't know the brother. Honestly, let me say this. I was a big fan of Stephen A. Smith.
Exactly.
I was happy that he had the platform to speak what he wanted to speak. I'm happy that he came from an HBCU. He worked his way up. He knew the game. He had connections. He had sources. He looked like me. He was from my age group. I was like, okay, this brother is helping himself. He's making brothers look good on national TV. He's got his own show. He's a good debater and all that, right? And I don't know, and it's not for me to know. I don't care, honestly, but you cannot it's like something happened to this guy, Marcus J. And I don't know. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if you are a fan of let me ask you this in front of the world. Are you a fan of Stephen A. Smith?
Yes.
Still to this day?
Yes.
All right. Now, all right, cool. Let me finish and I'll throw it to you. I like controversial talk show hosts. I remember in the 90s when I was living in the city listening to Francesa and the Mad Dog on the WFAN. religiously. I could not miss that show. So he comes from that ilk, So I was when he come up to, but then it's a lot of stuff that he said. So he said on his show, First Take, and there's nothing let me say that I ain't taking nothing away from his accomplishments, the bag that he got from ESPN and all that. I'm just saying once he got that money, he's starting to talk real crazy. And he started talking crazy about people, especially people that look like him, that we pushing back on. So here's Taking No Shorts pushback to you, Stephen A. Smith, on some of the shit that you've been saying out here, because you got the biggest platform for a black man in America. Who else, short of Barack Obama, does? Who else got a bigger platform than Stephen A. short as a black man, short of Barack Obama?
I was pretty close, but other than that, I can't think of anybody.
Hold on, let me get your hand.
Till I retire.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm gonna just start talking about Stephen A. here now, right? To answer your question, I can't think of anybody. If there's somebody, then there's somebody who I just can't.
It used to be Shannon until he got caught up. As far as Shannon had
not even close.
Yeah, not even close. He had like a frisbee moment.
Here's the thing, man. I recognize that Stephen A. Smith says a lot of things that are upsetting to people. He's been saying things that I have not agreed with a lot lately, but people that I know and love say things that I don't agree with all the time. So, because
he said right here.
because you saying crazy shit, now all of a sudden I don't fuck with you. Like, all right, if that's how you are, then that's how you are. But I also know as an HBCU alumni, he donates money to HBCUs.
He does. Big house games. He shouts them out.
And I also know, that he is supportive of young men that look like him.
He does.
So if you want to attack people because you don't like what they say, cool. I'm not going to sit here and argue for that man. He could argue for himself.
All right, so I'm going to go a different route.
But there have been certainly things that, like the whole Jasmine Crockett thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you talking about, bruh?
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I saw that. But you have said some things that I have wanted to say, fuck you talking about, bruh. So, I mean,
and I make way less money than Stephen A.
It has now become, in style to openly be against Stephen A. Smith. Some of the same folks that was, big fans of him years ago for the same reason that he's continued to grow now. It's a black dude, unapologetic, from New York, speaks with confidence, articulately, and with slang. Don't care what you think. We'll out-debate you. We'll get the last word, even if he's loud and wrong. That's off-putting to a lot of people. And black folks often have problems with black people when they get the bag. So there's a lot of people that want to leave. Well, as soon as he got the money, now he going to change. He ain't changed. He been the same dude. He just got a bigger platform, and he's been given the platform to say things that he didn't have an opportunity to say before. So, I mean, if you don't like him, you just don't like him. I'm not going to argue for him, but I'm not going to argue with somebody who wants to argue with me because I fucks with him.
Yeah. All right. So,
I take him to task when he say crazy shit, just like I would take you to task, and I would expect but I would expect you to take me to task too for saying some crazy shit. You don't think his boys pulling aside in private moments? What the fuck you doing? Of course they are.
But he all right. So yeah,
and as a wrestling fan, you should understand what getting heat looks like.
I do.
I know you do.
So I would then go to the booker and say,
he's the booker and he's the dude getting heat.
Yeah.
He's dusty.
I say I need to.
He's dusty.
We need to do a what they call a double switch, a switcheroo. I need to go face or something because I'm getting hit in the head with batteries out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm walking through. I'm walking down the aisle.
You get hit with it.
And they Black Jack Mulligan in Norfolk, Virginia got stabbed. Like that dude jumped. The heat was so bad. He jumped across the railing and stabbed him in Norfolk. And guess what? Black Jack put some Robitussin on it and came 90 miles up 64 and did a show in Richmond the next day.
Put dirt on it.
Yeah, put some dirt on it. Mark, brother,
sir,
I so much understand your point of view. I do. Here's where I'm asking supporters of Stephen A. not to speak for him, but just my point of view. Because again, I said I was a fan. You a fan. You say you still is, or you still rock with him. You still listen to him. You might listen to a series. I don't know if you listen to a serious show.
I have been at different stages because I'm old and so is he. He's been around a long time. And there have been times where I listen to him regularly, and there have been times when I don't listen to him at all.
What is it? When was a time where he was like, when you was just like, I'm other than Jasmine Crockett, we're gonna talk about
the last few years. I haven't been listening to him regular, and it's just been my, listening tastes have been a little bit different. I don't really have the desire to listen to him regularly right now.
You've heard the Knicks is on, and I'm over here looking. I'm supposed to be focused here, and I'm looking at the Knicks and Celtics.
I got the game on, man. I got the game on. But right now, the last couple of years, I haven't listened to him regularly. I just haven't. He's around, and when I see the clips come up, I generally will pause and look and listen and whatnot, and then I'll hear him say something like the Jasmine Crockett stuff. I'm like, yeah, he on the bullshit, and I kept it moving. But we live in a hypersensitive time where a lot of people got a lot of opinions, and everybody has an opportunity to say what they want to say. Hence us doing this now. Yeah. So because you don't agree with him, cool. Don't agree with him. You don't want to fuck with him. Don't fuck with him. I promise you, he don't care.
Yeah,
he don't care.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
let me land.
Yes, he say some foul shit. Yeah, I don't agree with everything that he say. Nah, and I keep going back to Jasmine Crockett thing. He said some things far more positive about our current president than I would agree with. And I'm like, word? You believe that? That's what you think?
I'm laughing as a former comic.
But just think for a second, man. Every time somebody that like you are a fan of somebody, and they say something crazy, yeah, you got the right to say, I don't fuck with you no more. Or you can be like, all right, well, you got that one, just like you would say to your family member for saying something crazy. Everybody got that family member say something crazy, and you look at them like, that's what you really think?
That's what you want?
You really believe that?
Yeah. And
you argue with them at Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, y'all playing dominoes again.
Yeah.
So I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Rock on.
I appreciate you, Marcus. Let's have a bro conversation, right?
Like we always do. What's up?
So if that was our homeboy, right? And he came up, hard work, we know him. We know brothers that, we came up. Yeah. We 14 years in this arena and then put in a lot of work, made a lot of connections, networked with a lot of good folks, right? Along that way, there are some people that personality-wise might not get along with us, right?
Yeah, I'm sure some folks that don't fuck with us.
And
I don't give a fuck though.
Right. But they are never.
Do you think Stephen A gives a fuck?
No, he doesn't. Okay. Especially with the level he's on, and there's always levels to anything. I teach my sons this. There's always levels to wherever you are in your stage in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you right out of high school and that level, trust me, there's another level when you get there. My oldest son, when he started touching a lot of bread, he was like, he put a post on, he was like, oh, this ain't a lot of money. I was like, no, oh, yeah, it's not. By the time you take it, so we know, based in the spaces that we have been in, how people might react to what we say in these spaces, right?
Yeah.
But there is very few people, they could do it based off of personality, but there's very few people that could say, you, Marcus J or Jay Grizzy ain't good business, or they poo-pooed on you behind your back or in front of you or whatever. Like, That's the thing. Like, even I think if people, it's since 2011 to 2025, right? If people saw Taking No Shorts podcast with Jay Grizzy and Marcus J, nobody can come up here and say, these guys sold us out. These guys, Marcus J was never in front of the universe shitting on the sisters or shitting on another brother that didn't deserve it.
But you know it's going to be people that don't fuck with me, right?
Of course.
And you know it's people that don't fuck with you, right?
Of course.
You know we just got to do what we do, keep it moving.
Of course. But there are also people that know that that's not true.
But I don't care. That's the thing, right? I don't care. Like you got to quit worrying about what people think.
So the truth. So here's what I'm getting at. Here's what I'm getting at with the point.
And this is the thing with Stephen A. Right?
He don't care.
He don't care.
He don't care that people think.
You know why?
So why he backtrack on Jasmine this week?
He backtracked because he was wrong.
Right. And so why did he even go there?
Yeah, but see, sometimes people going to say some things and they will recognize they said something that they shouldn't have said, and recognizing
guilty
that you shouldn't have said that, you apologize or you backtrack.
But if you, all right, so pre-show we talked about a circumstance at the watering hole.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So
yes, we won't get too specific, but generally, yes.
And I didn't even look at it like a backtrack. I was just like, yo,
it's the same thing though.
I was out of pocket.
But it's the same thing. That's why Stephen A. Because you were, you know, and so was Stephen A. And that's why he backtracked. But see, I don't want to get into a space where I'm defending him. But what I am saying is, when you recognize that the way you move, how you interact with people, your friends, your foes, just people in the world, the things that you say come from an organic place. You don't mean no harm for nobody, but you meant that shit you just said.
You stand and own everything.
Stand on business with it. Even if people disagree vehemently, even if they have a space to, because you said something crazy. When you said it came from an organic place, there's a piece that comes with that. You can't be walking around worrying about what people think about what you said when you came from a place of authenticity. It has no competition.
I believe you. I don't think Stephen A. Smith cares. The checks say he don't care. How that white man been paying him lets us know.
Ain't you getting paid by the white man too?
Yeah,
I am too.
But I would not sell Jasmine. I would not. I wouldn't say sell her down the river, but I would not get in front of a public audience. Even though now, I mean, it's a different.
All right, well, let me put it to you this way: if your job was to be on the radio or television all day, every day, 4 or 5 hours every day. You are paid to talk or be
20
seen
million. I don't like watching television pockets, but
every day, 4 or 5 hours a day, 20, 30, 40 hours a week. Don't you think that there's some space that you might just say some stupid shit once or twice?
Of course.
You come out and say, you know what, I shouldn't have said that. Should that not be enough?
See, I get what you're saying. And you're not defending him, by the way.
No, I'm not defending him. I'm not defending him.
You're just making an argument.
Or is this the same as an airline pilot or a doctor? There's no room for you to be fucking up.
All right.
I need you to be perfect every time.
I'm going to go back.
If that's the guideline that we put in Stephen A., and by that same argument, journalists and commentators and podcasters, if we are going to hold him, well, obviously, but if we're going to hold him to that standard, then we hold everybody to the same standard.
Podcast is different. If that was our homeboy, we would have been, I know, yo, what you doing?
Man, of course.
We would have been like, yo, what you doing?
But we wouldn't be canceling him either. If he was our homeboy.
I just had a conversation before we, and I said, it's a backstory, and it's not to give it about, but that's the thing. Like, that's exactly where I'm at. And give me a moment.
Sure.
When you in a community, your community, right? And not all black men or all black people or African Americans, however you want to class, we're not monolithic. So it's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever that's going to. And go off the reservation, so to speak. And what I try to do is, as a person who's growing in love and grace, is like, yo, first and foremost, you my friend, right? So if I don't know you, and I don't know you, Stephen A. Smith, but I still was like, yo, all right, first time you jumped off the porch talking about Kamala during the election on some other stuff, I was just like, okay, you have a right to have your political opinion. One time, I was just like that. Then the next thing I know, you on with Sean Hannity on Fox, keying it with, we are living in a time where fascism, Nazism, and everything else is coming down the pike. And as a historical guy, I know what all of that stuff means. But you steadily piling around. Now you're not in the thousandaire status. You in the millionaire. You in that. You up there. You up there, and that's what you're doing. And I see it. If I was your homeboy from Queens or from Brooklyn or from Jersey or from Philly or from Winston or from what's Winston-Salem at? Winston-Salem.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. I'd have been like, yo, what is you doing? That's the second time. That's the second time, right? Third time, now you gotta, ESPN, Disney, or whoever, the same people that tried to cancel Jimmy Kimmel for making a joke, you on the opposite side of the spectrum, bigging up the whole red hat shit. I can't. Even if I was your homeboy, I can't. Marcus J has called me out a many a day, whether it was on air or off. Yo, Grizz, you wild. You didn't say, what was the word on your butt plug? You wildin', dude.
Kept saying it. I don't know what the fuck was going on with you that day.
I think I was high as shit.
Must have been.
Yeah, I was high as shit.
I wanted to come across the table.
I know. I mean, honestly, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry.
So good, man.
Yeah, I was so sorry because that's your platform. And like, how could your homeboy come do that? I got enough gumption to be like, yo, that was my bad. And even though I was out of pocket, you come back and you say you sorry to Jasmine Crockett, but that's not the first time. You coming out on you just wilding, man. And like, for what? Because you now think you above it. Trust me, they not gonna fuck with you no matter how much you do this. They not. So you can cut that part. Speaking of cutting that part, Marcus J, you made it a point. Well, I make it a point, and you made it a point as well, because that was just a couple of things that came up before this episode. But sports, gambling, the money. They announced Rock Nation, by the way, is the company. Jay-Z, and he has I don't know what the word is, but I'm juggling Jay-Z because he did a lot of people wrong, but this one he got right. Booking Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Booking Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl, right?
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I'm
here for it.
God,
you know why I'm here for
right.
it? Because every time MAGA gets pissed off, I'm here for it.
Yeah, man.
Because you got to figure why you pissed off. You mad because this Puerto Rican dude is going to be doing a concert at the Super Bowl and you don't understand the language. You know that it's mostly going to be Spanglish and it brings a culture and a community that is unforeign to you and you just don't want it. And there's this talk of them having a counter concert to,
George
go parallel to Bad Bunny. It's like, imagine being so bothered that that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? And, he's not American. And Puerto Rico is in the fucking America. Like, how stupid are you? Like, you just...
Your skirt is showing. Your slip is showing.
Anytime that kind of white person is pissed off, I'm here for it, because that kind of white person would rather see me hang from a tree than to shake my hand. And they won't say it to you to my face,
No,
and they'll
won't.
call me a racist for saying what I just said.
Yeah.
For saying what I just said, they call me racist, but I'm still right.
Yeah, you right, bro.
You know
and let
what
me
I'm
look
saying?
at all the white folk that's looking at this podcast that secretly don't like Jay Grizzly or racist.
I mean, honestly,
I give you no words.
I got you. I don't even do the all white people or all black people thing. Like, for real, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like this, right? I don't got no problem with white people. I know what history is, and I recognize how you grow up in a certain culture. You know, there's certain changes, but then there's certain things that ain't gonna change. You know what I'm saying? And there's people that have to be intentional about making change to how things are around them and how they potentially would decide to legislate if they are elected to something. And some folks don't want things to change. They'll tell you to your face they want to make America great again. So who the fuck was it great for before? You already know what that means. It's the dog whistle, and they think that you stupid.
Yeah.
They want to play like you stupid, and then when you call out racism, they go, "What? What are you talking about? I'm not a racist." All right, cool. I'm not even gonna argue with you about that. All I'm saying is I don't got a problem with nobody unless they got a problem with me.
Who you think?
Hold on, I'm not finished. I don't got a problem with nobody who ain't got a problem with me. And I look at it like this: my house is my house.
Amen.
And I'm going to take care of everybody in it.
Amen.
Then it is spilled into the cul-de-sac. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody in my cul-de-sac, it's us against all of them.
Yeah.
My neighborhood is us against all of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you look at it that way and you don't mess with and bother with nobody, you ain't gonna have no problem with me. Black or white, because all skin folk ain't kinfolk. All you got to do is look who's running for governor in the state of Virginia. You don't know about that.
Or Stephen A.
Or to some folks, Stephen A.
Yeah.
But I'm not defending nobody.
Yeah, all skin folk ain't
Nope.
kinfolk. Nope. Just the announce.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Bad Bunny, right?
You talk about being squirrels.
Well, you led me down that path.
I do that though, bro.
Let me
good.
say this about Bad Bunny, right? Do you know the first time I ever saw him?
WWE.
Hell
of a match, by the way.
Two of
them with
Two of them.
Damian Priest. The one with Damian Priest, where he went to the top rope. He took a hell of a bump off.
I never even heard of this man until he showed up.
That was impressive.
Until he showed up in a wrestling ring. And I'm one of those people, I don't like celebrity wrestlers. I'm going somewhere with this. So pardon me. Like you said a minute ago, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I don't like celebrity wrestlers. I can't stand it, Paul, dude. Every time I see him, the sight of him irks the fuck out of me.
Exactly.
I didn't like when Bad Bunny came. I didn't like Lawrence Taylor in the Super Bowl. I didn't like Mongo. I just don't like celebrities that Mr. T was cool when it was Mr. T, but I'm sure if I was grown then, I probably wouldn't have liked it. I don't want to see celebrities in my wrestling. But Paul is really, really good. He's really good. He's really good. He know how to draw heat like some of the greatest. And Bad Bunny picked his spots. He, as a rookie, knew how to be led. His spots was believable. He told a good story. I was like, yo. And he took bumps.
He took hella bumps.
And he took bumps. So I'm like, yo, I think I like this dude. And then it was like, you know, he's a singer.
Yeah. Yeah, what? You didn't even
That's
know.
why he's here. That's why he's
Wait
here.
a minute. You
He's
didn't
here
even
he's
know.
a singer.
You didn't know. I mean, you said it. You didn't know Bad Bunny was
I
Bad
had
Bunny.
no idea who he was. I knew the name Bad
I think
Bunny.
it was.
I knew that when they was promoting the match, I knew he was a celebrity, and I knew that he did something. I knew he wasn't a wrestler, but they was building a story like they did with Jelly Roll last year. It was a similar
number one artist worldwide, not just in the Western.
In the world.
Yeah, in the world.
Well, I know now.
Yeah.
And I know now. So anyway, this is the guy that people are upset. One of the greatest artists in the world, greatest meaning impact and love from people around the world.
Not just us Yanks.
And these folks is mad. They don't want him at the Super Bowl when we can go and show you name by name by name of people who performed at the Super Bowl that weren't American. Because you got that argument too, you're not even American.
What?
Come on.
So the Spanish-American War.
I mean, we
I mean, that's my lane.
we can do that. It's like, I mean, it's crazy because see, and then when you call them out on the bullshit, they'll call you a racist. But it's exhausting.
Yeah, I don't do that. I have
and
no
that's
space.
why I generally don't find myself in the space anymore. That's why I come and do the show sometimes. If I was still doing my show, I'm retired.
Yeah,
if I'm doing my show, I'd be tight all the time. And James Baldwin said to be a black man in this country and to be relatively conscious is to live in a state of perpetual rage. You got to swallow that all the time if you choose to.
The peace comes.
What they call code switching.
Yeah, the peace comes. That was W.E.B. It was W.E.B. Du Bois he coined something that said there's the
consciousness, the double consciousness
of the black man in America. Like, look,
there's another one. We wear the mask that grins and lies, that hides our cheeks and shades our eyes.
I do it.
You know, like we wear the mask. That means we code switching.
And
I ain't doing that.
I'm
telling you straight up. I know what you are saying when you say you don't want Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because that's a black dude who speaks Spanish.
That's right. And I know, man. Look, my first.
I'm here for it, man.
It's my first experience with I can't even say a real, but a New York someone from Puerto Rico. I was working at KB Toys in the mid-90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
KB
Toys at downtown Manhattan. And it's a stock boy on like 14th and 8th or some shit like that. And it was these two Puerto Rican sisters that was like working with me. One was in the warehouse and one was the cashier. Every morning, they call me Poppy.
Yeah. I love that.
And they kiss me on my cheek. Morning, Poppy.
I grew up with Puerto Ricans. I love that shit too.
Morning, Poppy.
Because it's cool. It's like that type shit. It's like when a sister say, "Hey, baby," you know, it's the same thing.
And
it's culture.
Southern boy down south. I
love the culture, man.
They hit me when they were both beautiful sisters, and they morning, Poppy. And I'm like,
I'm in love.
Nigga, I was at work every day on time. Like I was missing no time. Look, and even New York minimum wage in '94 was maybe $8 an hour. I didn't give a F. My girlfriend at the time didn't give a F. The rent was getting paid. I was there on time. Salute. I was there, man. Shout out to you, sisters. I don't know where they at right now.
I love that culture. I love Puerto Rico.
Yes, man.
I've been there a couple times. I was there last summer. I went to San Juan last summer. And spent, you know.
Shout out to cousin John. Cousin John, I think.
He's here. I saw him a couple days ago.
You saw him a couple days ago, but I know he stayed out there.
I mean, I love the island. I grew up in Jersey City, and a lot of my friends were Puerto Rican. Most American, born, but families were from Puerto Rico. So I learned a little bit about their culture, how they move. I love the culture. My friends, so they just speak Spanish. So I took it as a personal slight, like how a Puerto Rican would take it personal.
Yeah.
When you saw this, this wave of now we don't want him, and and the reasons why it's not even American, or and you heard what he said to them. You better learn Spanish.
You better. And let me
learn Spanish. This last year was the same shit with Kendrick last year.
Look, it ain't.
Put your hood away.
To me, it ain't. This year NFL Super Bowl is not even about the game, and it's not even about the NFL. It's about, I know for a fact. I don't know for a fact, but right. Unless somebody stops his production from being what it is, that's going to be a great show.
Of course it is.
He's going to let the world know, because we've seen him as wrestling fans put on a great show. I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him perform in concerts. I've listened to his music. I've downloaded his music. America, this is ours. This is our own. Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. And for folks who can't Reed, who allows AI or allows groupthink to just allows Fox News to just get into their psyche. You just finna get all of this Boricua.
You're missing out.
Yeah.
It's just, we the things that we should embrace, we don't, and this is the reason why someone like me finds myself defensive so much about how I don't care what you think and that whole energy, because we're forced to be on the defensive in a space where we shouldn't. We should value the fact that we're different from each other. That should be a plus.
Exactly.
Black folks, white folks, Asian folks, everybody different. That should be something that we celebrate. How cool it is. Word, that's how you do it?
Yeah.
I do it like this. That should be something that we celebrate, but we don't. So that causes those of us who, while we agree with that sentiment, to become defensive and protective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate that we have to live in that space. But we do, because, it was just a few years ago where Colin Kaepernick was saying, please don't shoot us. This is how I'm going to show you that I feel, strongly about please don't shoot us. I'm kneeling during the national anthem to make a point. And he got blacklisted. Look at the place that we are in the world and the country right now. Just today.
I'm trying to wrap the show. Don't make me talk about it.
He got blacklisted because he decided to quietly appease it. And so did Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf the same way. Chris Jackson, same way. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want you to be aggressive and fist in the face. They'll come in their house and shoot you like they did Fred Hampton. They don't want you to kneel quietly and dignified, like Colin Kaepernick. They'll blacklist you. Like, fuck I'm supposed to do.
I think in the next, before this,
but they will make
next
America
5,
great
again. Next 5 years,
again.
Art, creators, intellectuals, not elites, not intellectual elites, because there's a difference. That's what's going to win the day. Art, creators, intellectuals. That's going to win the day.
That's the even space, though. It should be there in sports. The space where...
Oh, they fucking that up.
Well,
and that's why he coming for.
Well, they are.
That's what Stephen A. say. He coming.
Yeah. But
speaking about him, use his name, motherfucker.
But the space that you're talking about, like the arts, sports, things like that, those should be areas where, all you got to speak for you is your talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
shouldn't matter what you look like, where you come from, none of that shit. Like, your talent is supposed to be the thing that carries you through.
And if it don't work for you, even if you can't see through the art, the creative, the talent and everything, and you still got hate in your heart for all that, ain't nothing we can say, ain't nothing that we can do, ain't nothing we gonna try to win you over with. Those days for us Black Gen X's is over. It's done. We're not trying to win nobody over with that. Not Kevin McHale. Danny Ain't say Kevin McHale and Larry Bird is not walking through that door. That was Rick Pitino. Shout out to Rick Pitino. Is he still coaching St. John's? I think he still is. They haven't got rid of him yet.
It was Rick Pitino who said that.
Yeah, they not coming through that because they fired his ass the next day. Shout out to Rick Pitino, man. I ain't gonna talk about his Louisville days because that was crazy. That's another show. Marcus J, episode 113, man. It's always wonderful to sit back and chop it up and have great conversations with you. As always, let everybody know where they can find you when I chop this up and get those clips out, and they can rock with Taking No Shorts podcast.
You can find me here the next time I come back.
Ain't that bad. Jersey City in the house.
Hey, man, I'm retired, man. If you know me, you know how to get me.
You know how to find them. You know how to find them. I want to recommend this. I'm trying to do something. Everything I come across with during my week, I let everybody know there's a show out on HBO Max. Not that I'm blowing up HBO Max, but it's something that talks about prison reform. It's called The Alabama Solution. It's a documentary I saw today. I encourage everybody to go out and watch it. Shout out to all the folks down in the Alabama State Correctional Facilities that's fighting that good fight. Y'all word got out if it got me here in the second capital of the Confederacy, because they made it known Montgomery, Alabama was the first one. So it got all the way to Richmond, Virginia, y'all. And I just shouted y'all out for the world to see. So y'all keep fighting that good fight for the brothers down there and the sisters in Alabama.
I'll just go ahead and say I've had an opportunity lately. You know, folks have invited me to be on their shows, and I usually very flippantly say, you know, you can't find me, and I mean that. But I recognize that, you know, we've had an impact. We, and I say we, not me. We've had an impact, and I'm very appreciative of that. If you want to see or hear any of the things that we've done, and we started back in 2011, and I'm pretty sure there's archives saved as far back as maybe 2013 or 14, somewhere in there.
It's out there, man.
So if you Google Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J, and or Legacy Internet Radio on Facebook and or YouTube, you'll see plenty. And they're labeled by topics. Most of the time they're labeled by date. Some of these things that we talked about in the past were very timeless, meaning it doesn't matter if you listen to it back when we recorded it or present day. And some of it would timestamp depending on the topics. But, you know, there's many, many years of archives that we're very proud of. So if you decided, you enjoyed, any of the things that you saw from me here today, and in of course, my partnership and brotherhood with my brother Jay Grizzy here, by all means, you can find that stuff on social
Mark,
media.
you did good work, brother. Hold on, let me give the
Mega powers.
Man, good content is out there for y'all to see at Taking Those Shorts Pod and Legacy Internet Radio. Have stepping, man. Great shows. There's still times even when I wasn't physically on the pod on the show, but just checking in, and I'd be like, God damn, that man going deep. I mean, you had potentially, not potentially, but you had on the show potentially the next governor of the state of Virginia. I checked in for that show.
I did. I interviewed Abigail Spanberger when she was running for
Congress the first time.
The first time. I had an opportunity to spend.
You had a lot of politics, community activism. I mean, Legacy Internet Radio is definitely a staple here in RVA, and so I'm proud to be associated with them. I'm proud that you the homie, and I'm proud that you come through here taking those shorts.
I appreciate it. A lot of times, man, I know you got to wrap up. I'll say this last piece, and then this will be my final word for you. Go ahead and close it out. But one of the biggest things that I'm proud of is when I look at the news and I see a lot of the people that I interviewed have continued to do really cool things. I see people in social media who used to do shows with us that are still doing.
Shout out to Sonia.
Things.
Sonia, Prison of Promise.
Prison Promise over there, 101.1 The Fam on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So you can Google how to get to her. But just a lot of people who spent time at the Den that you coined that name.
You coined
the name that are either still in their craft doing different things, or some may have retired, but most of the ones that are still doing, things are very humble about their beginnings with Legacy Internet Radio, us to them. And I always like to shout out our alumni. I'm very proud of our alumni, Big Rube and Carlton Banks and Lissa P and Arthur Charisma and Miss Tony, along with the two of us, make up the original 7 of us who created all that. So there's a lot of pride there. And when I look at the news or the TV, if I'm walking around 2nd Street and people say, hey, Marcus J, when you come back to radio, you still doing radio? Can I be on your show? I retired 2 years ago. You asked me to be on, and you didn't know I retired. But I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and I'm appreciative. So thank you for bringing it up.
No problem,
and thank you for always allowing me to be here with you.
You, Tin Man, are the 2 guests when I have on Taking Those Shorts Pod that blows it up, man. Blows it up. So it's mutual love. If we we brothers. So it's bigger than podcasting
It
with
is.
us. So
We hang out anyway.
yeah, we
hang out anyway.
finna hang out right now. So for Marcus J, I'm your host, Jay Grizzly Green. Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. And every Friday, live streaming here at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We out.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk. We all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding. I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzly.